In the video you will be shown how to rename the 3D object, unwrap the 3D object's texture coordinates, export the texture coordinates as a bitmap image. The image would be used in Photoshop to create the diffuse texture. To rename the cylinder, select the cylinder. Select the Modify tab. Type in a new object name. Rename it as drum. Before we continue, an overview of some of the key concepts. A texture map is a bitmap image which is projected onto the surface of a 3D mesh. Here is an example of a cube 3D mesh without a texture applied to it. And here is the texture map. And finally the resulting 3D model with a texture applied to its surface. Texture coordinates determines how the texture map is projected onto the surface of the 3D mesh. Look at the 3D cube mesh, and here are its texture coordinates laid out. Different 3D meshes will have different texture coordinates. We can apply different texture coordinates to 3D meshes. To create appropriate texture coordinates for the mesh, we do the following. Select the cylinder mesh, which should be named drum. Go to the Modify tab. Select the Unwrap UVW modifier from the drop-down modifier list. In the Modify tab menu, scroll down to the Edit UV section. Click on the UV Editor button. The Edit UVW window will then appear. To select all of the texture coordinates, make sure the Select by Element UV toggle is selected. Click on any of the texture coordinate elements in the Edit UVW editor window. It should turn red. And the mesh also turns red in the perspective window.
With the texture coordinates, we are going to alter how they are projected so we can create a template to use in Photoshop. Go to the Mapping option in the Edit UVW editor window. Select Unfold Mapping. Make sure Walk to Closest Face is selected. And click OK. You can see the texture coordinate flattened into a more recognizable shape. The circular shapes represent the top and bottom, while the long rectangle represents the rolled-out barrel side surface. We can move, rotate and scale the coordinates. In this instance we just need to rotate them before we export the template. Rotate so the rectangle is horizontal. We are ready to export the UV template. Go to the Tools option in the Edit UVW window. Select Render UVW Template. Options for the template will appear. The default options can be used. Just click the Render UV Template button. The render will appear in a new window. Click on the Save icon. Set the image format as a JPEG. Name the image Drum UV Template. Make sure you save the image in your Drum folder.